Hello everyone, what is going on? Raven here, welcome back. We have another crime video for you all today. Now this one is, I don't want to say morbid, but it's pretty morbid, okay? Now this crime, okay, is basically what inspired the movie Jennifer's Body. For those of you that have never seen Jennifer's Body, Megan Fox is a star who poses as a high schooler that is a cheerleader, well-liked, things like that. Her and her friend go out one night, they watch a band. The band basically kidnaps her and sacrifices her to Satan to make the rock band more, better, basically. Make them more liked. And she comes back possessed and demonic, basically. Succubus-like. If you've never seen the movie, it is actually a pretty good movie if you like things like that. But we're not talking about the movie today. I'm just telling you that this is the story that inspired the movie, okay? We have a girl named Elise Poller. Now, she was a high schooler, just like in the movie. She was traditionally a very good kid. She had good grades in school. She had good, well-known friends, and she liked to make quite a bit of friends. Unfortunately, things went wrong when she met a group of boys. Now, it is said that these boys were not the best, well-behaved boys. They were into drugs and things like that. They would actually smoke, marijuana, things of that nature. And she started to befriend them, and her other friends would tell her, like, don't do it. These guys are not good. They're into trouble. She ignored them. And here's what went down. She snuck out of her house one night, according to my research. And this is where things tend to get horrible. Okay? I'm looking at two things of information to tell you all what happened, okay? And unfortunately, she trusted these boys and it went horribly wrong. So we have Jacob Delaschmut, Royce Casey, and Joseph Fiorella. Make sure you remember those names. Okay, these are the boys we're talking about today. Now, they made sure she smoked a little bit with them and that she started to get the high feeling. It is said that Delaschmut removed his belt and started to strangle her. Now, it is also said that, they kind of tied her up a bit, just like in the movie. I don't know for sure. But this is where things get worse, okay? Now, it is said that while he was holding her down, Fiora pulled out a knife and stabbed her in the neck multiple times. Eventually, the other two took turns with stabbing her. And at first, she was still alive at the end of it. She was breathing, which is scary, considering the fact that you're being attacked by people you thought were your friends and you're still alive. Well, they made sure she didn't make it. They went after her more until, unfortunately, she did pass away. Now, here's where things get even more horrible, okay? But I'm going to get to that in a little bit. Now, the next morning that she's gone, because she went out in the middle of the night, her family called the police and said she's missing, she wouldn't do this, and the police were all like, no. She's just a runaway. This happens. She'll come back. They didn't find her for 8 months. 8. That is a very long time for this to have happened. Okay. Here's where things get even more horrifying and disturbing. While she's been gone, deceased, in the woods for these 8 months, these boys did horrible, inappropriate things to her body. Okay? I don't want to say the word, but I think you guys can all kind of guess where I'm at this point. They did horrible things to her poor body. And it involved something so disturbing, I don't say it. Technically, if she were alive, they'd be arrested for it. I'm going to throw that in like that and leave that be. They assaulted her corpse. Inappropriately. That's where I'm going to go with it, okay? Now, I'm going to say this too. The murder was planned, and they definitely intended it to be a ritual sacrifice. They believed that in return for the murder, they would receive power from the devil for their death metal band to become famous. Does that sound familiar? That sounds like the movie, doesn't it? So, unfortunately, the boys opened up. They were bragging to their friends about committing the murder and doing the necrophiliac things. No one took them seriously. Her body remained in the grove for 8 months, as I said. In March of 1996, that's when she was finally discovered. 8 months! Going through this horrible thing for her poor body. I mean, it's disgusting. When they finally found her, the autopsy revealed that she had been stabbed more than 12 times. None of the individual wounds were fatal. The cause of death was blood loss stemming from her injuries. This poor girl. Let's just take a moment of silence for this poor girl. But here is where the case finally broke. Royce Casey, do you remember when I said that name? Apparently he had a change of heart. After having practiced Satanism with his bandmates, he converted to Christianity. Then he turned himself in and confessed to the crimes. He also told the authorities of his co-conspirators and that they were planning on committing more murders. And it said that they said that Elise wouldn't be the only one. So he feared that they were planning on killing him too because he converted, he stopped hanging out with them. It is said that they were telling him, hey, come back over to us or you're going to regret it. So, while the ages of the boys were 14 and 16 years old, that did not matter. They committed such a horrible, vile act that they actually ended up being tried as adults. Probably a good thing. Now, here's where they try to put blame on someone else. Now, Elise's parents, David and Lisanne Poller, filed a lawsuit against a certain band. Now, why would that be? Now, the band is Slayer. Now, it is said that they became a scapegoat because it is said that the boys claimed that the songs like Postmortem and Dead Skin Mask gave the boys actual instructions to do this to the poor, their poor daughter. Now, it is actually said that the case was dropped multiple times because they actually tried to do this more than once, saying that, you can't blame the band for something that they didn't physically do. And, it was dismissed. Now, what else is happening in this? Well, Casey told prosecutors that Elise had blonde hair and blue eyes, and because she was a virgin, she would be the perfect sacrifice for the devil. This would be the ultimate sin against God, and a ticket to hell for them. That's horrible. All 3 boys pled no contest in the murder charges and were sentenced to 25 to life. Elise's, this poor crime continues to be one of the most disturbing cases of ritual sacrifice out there. Now, if you guys find any more, let me know. I would actually like to cover it. But after years in prison, Della Schmutt cast doubt on their supposedly satanic motives when he said, the music is destructive. That's not why Elise was murdered. She was murdered because Fiorella, Joe, was obsessed with her and obsessed with killing her. These are pretty clear parallels between the Chilling case and the movie Jennifer's Body, wouldn't you say? Although there are some profound, silly elements to the movie, there's something undeniably satisfying about seeing a teenage girl turn the tables and take back power. Something that poor Elise never got to do. Now, it is said that the parents actually forgive Casey, the one that turned himself in. It is also said that if he actually gets let out, the parents are okay with that. And I don't think I could forgive that. So, here's a little bit more about them. Okay? Casey pleaded no contest to first-degree murder, was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 21 years. Della Schmidt pled no contest as well to first degree, was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 26 years. So they're kind of bouncing back and forth as to how many minimum years they're getting. Now, in 2021, Casey had a shot at parole. Some of the members of her family, including her father, said that they did not oppose him to be released. It is said that Casey showed sincere remorse over the murder and had been the one to confess and led police to her body. He actually took them there to find her. In the prison, he had a 20-year record of model behavior and participated in a number of rehab programs. He earned his GED, worked towards a bachelor's degree in psychology and sociology. During his parole hearing, he described Elise as a truly wonderful person. He said that while behind bars, he had learned self-acceptance, and he had to, portray an image of being violent when he was a teenager to fit in. He stated that when he thinks of Elise, he thinks how immense the suffering is that he has caused to her, that she doesn't have her life anymore because of him, and that she had to feel so much pain. Well, yeah, you stabbed her. Of course she's going to feel pain. That's horrible. Casey would be granted parole by the California Parole Board. However, the district attorney, Dan Doe, wrote a letter to the governor opposing the release. In the letter, he wrote that Casey has never adequately explained why he participated in such sadistic and heinous crime. Now, this would deny the grant of parole. It reversed. Because he wrote a letter mentioning that, he didn't explain everything, he is still behind bars. The parole board reversed their decision. They're all still currently incarcerated. And as far as I know, none of them get another chance parole yet. Now, I don't think Joe will ever get out, since he was basically the one that wanted to do it. He was obsessed with it. I don't think he's ever getting out. Now, Casey might. It depends. Now, especially with, members of the girl's family, including her father, saying like, hey, we're okay if he gets out. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could say, yeah, let my daughter's murderer go. Or in this case, I have a son. If something happened to my son, I wouldn't want them to get out. You know what I mean? Let me know what you guys think of this in the comment section down below. Do you actually see the resemblance? I actually do. The poor girl was sacrificed just like in the movie. Poor Jennifer as well. Of course, Jennifer was played by the actress Megan Fox. Elise was an actual girl. She was an actual person that lived on this planet Earth. And her horrible end is something that we should all feel for. That should tug on the heartstrings a little bit. The fact that she was killed in this horrible way. Now, we talked about Satanism and cult. If your religion does not approve of hurting someone else, then celebrate it all day long. There are multiple religions celebrating life the right way. That's all I'm going to say about that. Let me know what you guys think of this video in the comment section down below. If you actually have other, crimes like this, let me know. And also, I am going to link another YouTuber in the description, as some of the information did come from that YouTuber as well. So I want to link that channel and that specific video in the description. So if you do want to kind of go watch all that, her video, go ahead. It was a great video. I learned quite a bit. And I will see you all next time. Bye!